Hi guys, Coach Becky here. Welcome to part 2 of my series, Strength for Marathoners. Today we're going to be using really similar equipment to what we did in the first video, and that's going to be a TheraBand or a circle band. Mine's a moderate to a heavy resistance, but you might choose to do a lighter one depending on your background. A set of moderately heavy weights. Last week I did take the weights out of this and use some lighter weights. So if you want to have a variety of weights nearby, just based on your exercise background, what moderately heavy might mean to you. Maybe you want to have a light set and a heavier set. That's totally fine. And then I've got a moderately heavy kettlebell. For you, that might be 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 20 pounds. I think mine's 35 pounds. So moderately heavy is open for interpretation. This workout is great for all levels of runners. You don't have to be doing a marathon training cycle to benefit from this. This is also great for endurance athletes. As a remote coach, a lot of my athletes are doing marathons right now. I'm training for a marathon, so I figured this would be a great way to cycle. So a personalized touch into their remote training plans. So just know I'm going to be coming from a very coaching standpoint. This really is for my athletes and for myself. So let's get started. Go ahead and grab the band. We'll kind of progress some of the exercises that we did last time, but this is meant to be a series that's done. You could probably do them stand alone if you'd like, but it is, I think, an ideal set if you do session 1, then session 2, then session 3. But I'm also a little bit type A, so maybe that's just that coming out. So go ahead and take your band. We're gonna place it around the ankles. And we're going to be doing a monster walk today, which is kind of a fun, different type of band walk to do. A great way to strengthen the glutes and the hips and kind of just get everything moving and flowing for the day. As a quick pointer, last time I said this, I filmed the workout after a hard run. Today it comes after an easy run day. And I just want to point out quickly here in the warm-up, some people ask, should I do my strength training on my rest day, on my easy day, on my hard day? And that really comes down to the week that you're having. I think it can be really beneficial to put all your hard stuff on one day. I think it'd be beneficial to do a strength training on an easy day as well. So I think it comes down to how you lay out your week. I think you should just look ahead at what you have the next day. Obviously, you have a remote coach, like what my athletes do. You don't have to worry about that. I've already planned that for you. But if you're coaching yourself, it is smart to look ahead and say, hey, if I have a tempo run or a really hard run day tomorrow, probably shouldn't be doing something that's going to cause a lot of soreness. Running is the priority right now if you're training for a marathon. So hopefully you've already done your run session for the day. Just wanted to touch on that briefly here. So I'm going to use the length of my mat for this, just because I know that you'll be able to see me here, and I'll try to face you both directions, but I've got my feet shoulder width apart and just tension on the band. You don't want to bring your feet together or your band will be going crazy. And what you're just going to do is keeping your feet like a hip width apart. You're just going to take a big step forward, and then a big step forward, and a step forward, and then you'll just do that back and forth for a minute. And this shouldn't feel terribly hard. You might get fatiguing, especially if you're tired from your run training. Let me show you what that looks like. I've already got the time started, so hopefully you're going with me here, but this is what it looks like from the front. We are going to be doing some not gait mechanics. That sounds a little bit fancy, but yeah, we do want to improve our efficiency, economy. That's the whole point of a lot of these workouts, is to make you a better runner, stronger runner, more efficient runner, a less injured runner, a happier runner. Okay, let's do this for another 20 seconds. And maybe you're just starting to feel things wake up a little bit. I think if you just got done running, you're gonna feel things differently than if you ran several hours ago. So keep that in mind. Also, will make a difference if you did a really hard workout or a really easy run workout. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Doesn't really matter how many steps you take forward or backward, as long as it's generally equal. Just a quick note on that. So we're going to do a side leg raise. This is one of my favorite ones to do. You can do it standing or you can do it laying down today. I just want to show you the laying down variation. So come on down. I'll move this just so you can see. Okay. If it feels like it's too hard when we do this, you can move the band up. The further down you go, I think the kind of just the a little bit more, I guess, torque or velocity might be the right word to say. So you can adjust the band higher up if we start and you're just having a really hard time getting any clearance, but you're gonna start completely on your side with your hips kind of stacked one on top of the other, which means you just don't want to be doing this. So one on top of the other. You don't have to lay like you can put your head to the side, whatever you'd like to do there, or prop your head up, but Start with tension in the band and then just lift up as high as you can and then come back to where there's tension. So you don't need to close the legs all together. And we'll do 12 per side. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Definitely gonna burn here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So this is a very unrun specific movement that strengthens the lateral, works in the lateral plane of movement, something that runners just don't get a lot of and can develop a lot of weakness because of that. So we want to keep those muscles strong because they will help us. Okay, start with tension in your band. Let's do 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you don't have a band, this is actually a great exercise to do without a band as well. There's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Great job. We'll come back to those, but in between sets, just to kind of let those glutes breathe a little bit. We're gonna slide the band up around the knees and do a banded bridge up. This is just great for your butt, great for hip extension. Here we go. We're gonna do a set of 20 of these, just one set. There's 1, 2, feet are shoulder width apart. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right, let's get back to those leg lifts. Doesn't matter which side you start on. We'll do another set of 12. Slide my band down just a little bit. And I'm wearing shoes today because we're going to be doing some light plyometrics. Sometimes I'll do workouts barefoot because I think that's really beneficial to do as well, but not today. All right, here we go. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Great job. All right. And can come off. All right. Next, we're going to be doing a carry movement. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. One is great for beginners or those of you that are limited in overhead things, meaning you have a shoulder injury or just were told by your doctor you shouldn't do overhead lifts. And I want you to still feel involved in today's workout. So I'll just show level 1 here. And that's just a basic carry, but you're gonna do it kind of exaggerating your run technique. So we just kind of wanna, again, if you saw my dynamic run warm-up video, you heard the term maybe build a good runner's wheelhouse, and that just means we just wanna have a nice, smooth carriage in our run gait, and we wanna practice that today, whenever we can, really. So level 1, you're just gonna be doing your kind of running high knee stride, building your runner's wheelhouse, if you will. Level 2, you're gonna bring the weights up to your shoulders and then press directly overhead, squeezing your biceps to your ears. You don't want the weights going all crazy. You don't want your arms to be sloppy. So nice and strong. Okay, and we're gonna be doing just a 30-second overhead carry. You can do this traveling or you can do this in place. For sake of the video, I'm just gonna do this in place right here, but I'll kind of travel back and forth on the mat so you get the idea. Okay, 30 seconds. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Lift up, squeeze those biceps to your ears. It's almost more of a march, I should say. You kind of want to feel that heel come up to your butt. If I'm doing these in the gym or not when I'm filming, I'll do like a 20-yard stretch. All right, 10 more seconds, and I'll do these in place so you can see what that looks like just from the front. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, doesn't matter how fast you go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just a little fun add and change of direction there. You can do them forward and backwards if you want, but I think forward moving is probably the most run specific, but just so you could see me there. This one's really great for overhead stability, but again, also just anytime we can be focusing on those run mechanics, I want to do that today. So there you have it. All right, so let's move into some of our body weight plyometric training. That's gonna help you hopefully be a less injured runner, a more powerful runner, and have more stamina at the end of your races. Something we definitely want to feel bouncy at the end of a marathon, even if it feels like that's dreaming. So last week we did this movement where we stepped forward. Today we're going to do something kind of similar. We're going to start in the split lunge position, and we're going to start from a stagnant position here. So you're going to start here with your running arms, and then you're just going to go up and switch, and you're going to kind of like stick your landing. So we're really going to be doing sets of 1, because I want you to do one really powerful movement and then come back down to a full stop position, okay? So we're gonna be doing 6 total switches, which is 3 per side, okay? And I do want you working today at a very maximal effort here, okay? Here we go. Quick note, if you got anything going on with your ankles and you can't do a lunge type movement, you can do regular squat jumps here instead. Okay, so let's do 1 set of 6. So get into that lunge position with your running arms, explode up, switch your arms, switch your feet, that's 1. Up for 2, up for 3, up for 4, really fire from the hips, and rest. Okay, and I'll show you our next set from the side. Whenever we're working really explosively like that, you need to allow for rest. That type of effort, even though we stepped each time, it was kind of more like 6 reps of 1, it should have gotten you pretty out of breath. If you're wearing a heart rate monitor in your Garmin, you should see your heart rate spike. Okay? We're gonna do another set exactly like that, okay? Here we go. Lunge position, running arms, and we're gonna do 6 total, 6 reps of 1, really. Ready, go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't sound like it's gonna be a lot, but it should really sting. Okay, last week we did some lateral hops. We are gonna repeat those again today, but instead of working kind of more like 80 to 90%, we're just gonna add a little bit more oomph to that. And we're gonna still do 2 sets of 20, okay? You can use kind of the length of your mat. Sometimes I use a different length mat though, so kind of just feel your effort and gauge it so that you're working closer to 90 to 95%. So almost your maximal effort, but we are gonna do 20. This is a side to side skater, again, working in that lateral plane of movement. Here we go, running arms, and we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and we rest. Again, you should feel that heart rate come up. Should feel the burn in the legs. We'll do 1 more set of those. And rest is good. Pretend you're like doing an interval workout. You wouldn't just do, 100-meter sprints one right after another. And we do want to be working in those higher effort zones. So whatever you have to do during this time to say it's okay just to take a little time. Okay, last set of lateral jumps, working between 90 and 95% effort, whether that's, jumping a little higher or a little farther or a little quicker, whatever that means to you. Okay, here we go. Get your balance and go. 1, 2, strong arms, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Great job. Now for our single leg agility drill, last time we did some ankle hops, very similar to that, except for we're gonna take it side to side. So sometimes I'll use these wooden slats. I mean, you could put down, your band if you wanted to. Okay. We're just gonna do a set of 8 per side, and just adding in that change of direction instead of just going straight up and down. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult. Okay, you can always come back to that in place movement. Okay, so side to side, we're gonna do a set of 8. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can center your shoulders right over the target or what have you, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Again, we're not doing a lot, but we're doing good quality here, and we're doing a one-legged hop, which is pretty advanced. It's essentially what running is, actually. All right, here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, one more set of each. This leg got to rest so this one works, so we can kind of go right back into it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great job. Believe it or not, halfway through our workout, it's finally time to lift weights. Okay, so let's take you back to where we were last week with the kettlebell deadlift. I'm just going to show you a new variety of deadlifts. So instead of just doing our traditional deadlift, we're going to do a sumo deadlift. So this would be where we'd set up for a traditional deadlift, just feet right under the shoulders. And just a different stimulus. You might feel this a little bit more in different muscles. I really, really love sumo deadlifts. I always have, ever since my personal training days. So nice and wide, okay? Toes out, so you can kind of, like if you're in a room, you can maybe point your toes and your knees to the corners of the room. And everything else is the same. You're gonna hinge at your hips with soft knees. Once your kettlebell hits the ground, you're gonna stand back up, okay? So we're gonna do 3 sets of 10. Just like last time, but we're gonna do an upper body exercise in between too. That way we're not just wasting daylight, okay? So kind of line maybe your instep up with the handle of your kettlebell. You wanna be right on top of the kettlebell. So it's kind of like right over your hips or your pubic bone. I mean, maybe the pubic bone's a little bit further back, but just to kind of give you an idea, you don't wanna start way behind the kettlebell because that can be pretty strenuous on the lower back. So get right over that kettlebell. Toes out, hinge at those hips, knees are soft, grab your kettlebell, roll those shoulders back, and we'll do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. All right. We'll go to our weights. You've got 2 options. We're only going to do 5 per side, so it's 10 reps total. You can do a split stance bicep curl to press to work on your balance while you train your upper body. Or you can do single leg to build your stability. Either one works. This is obviously just more advanced. Here we go. 5 per side. 1. Any type of curl to press works. 2. 3, 4, and 5. Going right to the other side, get your balance. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Got to keep those biceps strong, your running arms strong, and your arms strong for your celebration of victory when you cross the finish line. Okay, so we're only going to do 2 sets of those. We're going to do 3 sets of the kettlebell. Okay, so this will be set 2. I'll do the set facing you actually. Okay, here we go. Toes out, nice wide stance. Hinge at the hips, soften the knees, roll the shoulder blades back. Good strong posture, strong spine. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right, your choice. Split stance still works on stability, or single leg. As a runner, I really appreciate single leg exercises. think it's a great way to get 2-for-1 stability and strength. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Keep that knee up. 4, if you're doing level 2, and 5. Halfway. It's gonna roll right to the other side. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job. All right, last set of our kettlebell deadlifts, and hopefully with a little upper body exercise in between, your legs are able to get a little bit of a rest, but also this weight should feel doable. For 3 sets of 10, you should feel fatigued in the final. Well, you should feel fatigued throughout it. I mean, as a marathon runner, when you're not fatigued, but those last 3 sets, you should really feel the strength in your legs, if that makes sense, okay? Kind of like you would as you're cresting a hill that you're running up, all right? Here we go. Last set of deadlifts, and we're moving on. Here we go. Hinge at the hips, soften the knees, grab the kettlebell, roll the shoulder blades back. 10, 9, stand nice and tall at the top. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Great exercise for the hamstrings and the butt, even the quads a little bit too. There, you'll feel those. You'll get a benefit from those. Okay. Last week we did a like a push press or a mini squat to an overhead press. This week we are going to focus a little bit more on building our quads with a front squat maneuver. So we're not going to do any upper body from there. So we're going to go a little bit heavier than last week, if you remember this movement. So you can either choose a heavier weight with your dumbbells, or you could use your dumbbells if you're newer to doing squats and you want to take it a little easy, or you can use your kettlebell. Okay, so we're going to do 4 sets of 5 today, which seems kind of like a lot, but it's really the bulk of our workout, I would say. The other thing is, if you're somebody that's a little bit newer to squats, you might want to have a chair nearby, or somebody that's just newer lifting and it's like, I'm really worried about being sore or whatever. That's fine. This is a great training tool to have a chair nearby. So I'm going to take you through 4 sets of 5, and I do want you to work at a heavier weight, okay? So even if you're someone's like, well, I'm new to weightlifting, I don't want to lift heavier weight, I still want you to push yourself just a little bit, because we're only doing 5 reps and we do want to build some strength, okay? So I'll show you with the dumbbells, and I'll use the chair on the very first set. So we're going to do a front squat today, which means we're going to hold the weight in front of us. We're not using a barbell with the weight on our backs, okay? So that's a front squat. You're going to feel the strength in your core muscles to support that weight in front of you. You can just rest it slightly there on the shoulders if your weights allow you to do that, okay? And I kind of always use the key. You're going to kind of drive the elbows just a little bit, so that way you're not lagging forward, okay? You want to keep a nice upright chest. The feet shoulder width apart, and if you're going to squat to that chair, take a deep breath in, tap your hips to that chair, exhale and stand. That's 1. From the front, it'll look like this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's 1 set done. We've got 3 to go. We do get some rest in between. Again, I'll show you to the chair with the kettlebell. So I'm going to use the kettlebell for my next set. My kettlebell is much heavier than my dumbbell. So if you're going to be using a heavier kettlebell and you want to get it up to the chest, you know, you can do something called like a cheat clean. You're just going to grab the top of the kettlebell, load with your legs, kind of lift up explosively. That way you don't pull from your lower back to get that heavy weight in place. So now we're going to kind of support the kettlebell, not necessarily on our chest, but just off our chest with strong arms. You can see my biceps. I have to work to hold that kettlebell in place, as do my core muscles. So let's do set number 2. Get the feet set, inhale. Just use that chair as a target. Hopefully I'm not rubbing my mic too much. 2, nice strong proud chest. 3, drive at the top. 4, and 5. and then carefully lower down, almost like you're doing a deadlift. All right, so that's kind of how you'd use the chair, just using it for a little bit of a target. Maybe not going down quite as far, loading the joints as much, maybe taking a little bit of that soreness factor out. Whether you're using the dumbbells or the kettlebell, sometimes people will use I'll have them use a dowel, or if you're at the gym and you've done, you could use a bar, whatever. I do really love front squats. I think they're really, really beneficial. And that's why I'm having us do them today. All right, set 3, I'm gonna continue using my kettlebell because I wanna push myself a little bit with the weight, and it is heavier than my dumbbells, but continue using what's beneficial for you. Okay, here we go. 3rd set of 5. Now that I don't have that chair, I can almost use my elbows to target the tops of my knees or my thighs there. That's 2. 3, 4, and 5. Careful as you lower down. Great. Just for kicks, I'll do my last set with the dumbbells. For those of you that are using dumbbells and want that, maybe that visual. But I do want you to allow some rest when you're working that heavy. It's not smart to just do reps on reps and reps and reps, okay? So our last set here, bring the weights up if you're using dumbbells. If you're using the kettlebell, I'm showing you how to get that up twice now. I'll show you from the side. Got some ducks chattering over here. All right, here we go. Last set of 5. Here we go. I know your legs are feeling it now. Mine are too. Inhale, lower down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Great job. All right. We are just about finished for the day. Of course, we've got to do something for our calves, right? Because we're runners. You can use your weights, or since we're going to be doing 2 sets, if you want to load your core a little bit, holding weight on one side is going to force your core to keep you upright. So sometimes I'll do that. If you've got your chair, shouldn't have put it away. You can do just regular calf raises if you don't feel ready for a split stance calf raise. We're going to do 2 sets of 12. You could hold both weights by your side or one here. Hey, leave them alone. Red. Okay, so 1 foot up. And I'm not right up next to the chair, I guess maybe a little bit closer there. Maybe 3 inches behind my chair. Up nice and tall. Let's do 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you've got 2 weights, you won't have to switch hands. And if you're doing these with both feet down, you won't have to switch legs. But here's our second set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Great. Not a ton for the calves today, but that's okay. We did do some jump training with that. And that works the calves as well. All right, so let's work on our core a little bit here. We are going to be doing a plank leg lift as our final exercise today. We're going to do 2 sets. If you're newer to core training, what you can do is do this kneeling. And I want you just to hold for the duration. Okay, but what we'll be doing here is a leg lift. And the main cue that I want you to keep in mind, that as you lift your foot behind you, you're not going to lift your hips. So it might not feel like a huge movement, but that's okay. We want to lengthen our hip flexors and work our butt and work our core stabilizing muscles, okay? So we're going to do a set of 12 alternating. It's not going to seem like a lot, but I want you to do it really well, okay? Here we go. I do my feet shoulder width apart, elbows under the shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's it. And then we'll just do a little frog stretch for the hips to rest. Just a short rest for a short, oh hi. Okay, and then let's get that last set in. Going to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Great job. All right, guys, that's our time for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope your run training goes great. We'll see you for week 3. Stay strong, keep yourselves hydrated and nourished well. Happy running.